And welcome back to another episode of
And on that note,
that was fun.
So guys,
Okay, I got your back.
because
Because
my coins.
yeah, go on.
I got this mate, yeah.
Yeah.
Say yeah.
Yeah.
They're not with us.
No, all right. On a serious note, I've got a friend who's experiencing one kind of dilemma like this.
Yes.
So my mate is a Muslim guy
Yeah.
and he is in a situation. So basically, he is 28 going on 29. And for some Muslims at that age, if you're not married, then are you broken? Something's wrong with you. So yeah, his family are trying to marry him off to another Muslim girl,
Okay.
but he doesn't want to be with a Muslim female. All his older brothers, they're already married. Their wives live at home with them. He doesn't want to live in the family house either. He wants to move out. He's dating or seeing a girl who is black,
Oh,
not a Muslim. He's Nigerian, but those strict Muslim ones. So I don't know if he's Hausa or whatever.
Oh, but you're just for clarification.
No,
the
yeah.
girl's
She's black.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
She's black, but she's a Christian
Okay.
girl.
Danielle's funny. Go on.
She's a Christian girl from like Zimbabwe or whatever. So her parents are strict as well. Now, he wants to bring this girl home to his family. They're like, they're not even trying to hear it. So he's gone off. He's still entertaining his girl, doing whatever he needs to do. Now she's pregnant.
Sack him.
Wow.
She's pregnant.
Oh, God.
She's had the baby.
I think he wants to be just
No, yeah. She's had the baby now. His family don't know. They don't know about like her being pregnant, nothing. They don't know the baby's here.
What did they do? Live under a rock?
They're what?
No, because he's
How
just
do they not know?
because he's not telling them.
Yeah,
Okay,
they-
go on,
how
Land.
would they know?
Just
then?
like my mum
Yes.
didn't know I was a virgin. I wasn't a virgin until Kiona came.
I thought you still were one.
Well, I am still.
Oh, okay.
Immaculate conception and that. But yeah, no. So he's had a baby. Just go with it, guys. Go with it. He's had a baby. His parents don't know he's had a baby.
That's a madness.
Yeah. I don't know. What should he do? What would you guys do?
Well, I won't be in that
I would never
situation.
be in
But you don't know. What do you mean?
Situation,
What,
right.
So
what
that's the answer.
situation
I
would
don't
you
know
be in?
the
though?
situation. It's
No,
finished
what
now.
situation would you be in?
Next.
Because I know for me, yeah. No, guys.
Next
that is
question.
too. When I started dating, let's just say, yeah, my mum didn't really say it, but I knew like, don't bring no white man home, you know, like.
Why?
No. She just said.
man. That's
Why?
what
No,
my-
actually, it wasn't even don't bring no white man home.
Wow.
It's anybody that's not Nigerian does not know culture. That's what it was.
Really?
Okay.
And then later, she just
Wow.
started saying, I think she must have thought, maybe this girl's a lesbian or something because she's not bringing no man home. So she just said, I'm just happy with whoever God gives you.
Your mum
Chinese,
changed her tune, boy,
Jamaican,
quick.
any of them. I'm
Jamaican.
Just happy, Jamaican. I'm just happy with
Hey.
whoever gives you.
Don't come for the Jamaicans.
I'm not coming with it. It's the way she said it.
Jamaican.
Come on, calm down.
So, like, obviously, parents. You guys are making me talk just English. Parents.
Sorry.
That's how you
Parents.
Parents.
Parents do sometimes I don't know, not everyone, but they do sometimes have an influence on the type of person you bring home or put a fear in, oh my God, like I'm with this person, but
Yeah.
my mum would never accept it or
Yeah.
my dad would never accept it. What do? I'm going to see that person that I like in secret. And for some Muslims as well, especially strict ones, they do honor killings. That is a real thing.
that's
So I'm not trying to die because of love.
Did you not see Murdered by My Father?
Yeah.
No, where's that?
No.
Is
Is it on
years
Netflix?
ago. No,
We spoke about
years
this,
ago.
though.
One BBC documentary about
You
this
guys need to
Asian
watch
girl.
it.
Her dad
It's-
killed her basically.
And killed himself
and
like a
killed
coward.
himself because she wants to be with someone else outside of her
I
religion.
feel like it's a
But he
Oh,
wasn't.
that's
It was,
a real thing, though.
no, it is.
It was a real. It was a
Yeah,
true
yeah,
story.
no,
It was a
that's
true
real.
story.
I know
Based
it's
on
real.
true story.
But it's a bit extreme. I mean,
It's too extreme. Come
if I
on.
think about from my perspective, I always remembered when I was growing up feeling like, you know, it was like a running joke, like, oh, you know, you have to marry a Ghanaian. However, I feel that whilst it was something that was said on the surface, probably more so by my dad, because I think he cared more than anything. Like, and it wasn't so much marry a guardian; it was don't marry this type of person. So I think it was that thing. But I think as I've gotten older and you have more conversations with them, and I've they've just begun to be a bit more open and they realise that, look, we live in the UK.
Yeah, so
And you've gone to school with a variety of types of people. You come into contact with a variety of types of people.
This is the thing.
And you're not just completely surrounded by Ghanaians. They've realised that my culture isn't solely Ghanaian, so they can't expect me to just kind of entertain only Ghanaian men. And they already know my perspective. Actually, sometimes I've made them aware that actually the people that you think you're saying, yeah, Ghanaians, I'm like, the levels in some instances are not quite there.
Yeah.
So I've just let them, I've also made them aware of the fact that, look, that is not realistic. It's not realistic to assume that, we're in Ghana and somehow we're not there. So,
We're not there.
And so I think it's nice when your parents have that perspective. And I feel like for me personally, I would say to them, look, if that's your real desire, that's you go and find the person and bring them.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
I'm not putting in that hard work.
otherwise be quiet, basically.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I stand on the whole matter. But with your friend, I mean, I suppose we'll delve into that shortly, but that's a wild situation because I don't get how you could end up in that situation.
I don't know how we then got her pregnant. What happened to protection?
Because they are sex in it.
Yeah, but come on, you already know that your family don't want you to be with someone outside of your religion. So then they're not too concerned about race or where she's from or culture.
Not that I know of.
Where is she from?
Zimbabwe.
Okay, so she's from Zimbabwe and he's from
the north of Nigeria.
North of Nigeria. Yeah, anyway.
I feel like it was
I think it's
foolish on his part.
I think it's foolish. Yeah, 100%.
I appreciate that obviously it's hard to have certain conversations with your parents, right? But it's kind of like, okay, you've up until this point, you've not spoken to them about what you want, whatever. But
no, he has done. They're not accepting what he wants.
So then it's one of those things where you need to be able to then turn around and say, in that case, I'm gonna.
And he can't
stop.
say, find me one, because he doesn't want what they're
but then you have to be able to say, I don't want this.
I don't want
and
this.
I'm standing firm in my decision.
Rather
than going to hide to do... Because it's not fair on the girl.
It's not girl.
And then I also bring her to blame because I'm like, how can you be doing all this shambas and not even have met the person?
For me, I put some blame on
and then
her.
given birth.
But exactly.
That's crazy. I think I don't know. I think it's stupidity on all of their behalf. But I think going back to what Daphne said as well, I think I was very much similar to you. My parents never put that kind of pressure on me to be like, oh, your husband must be Nigerian. To be fair, my dad always said, I think Georgina's going to marry an Englishman. And I was just like, oh, really? I don't know why they always said that, but they all, actually, because I had a white boyfriend called Alan. Hey, Alan. I did have a white boyfriend called Alan at one point, and he was so cute. He was Alan. He had blonde hair and blue eyes. Hey. Shout out to Alan. His name was called Alan French.
So you've everyone's going to go do their Googles.
Yeah, so anyway, so my family thought I was going to be with an Englishman. And then I think one day I just told them, not any I don't know. I just said to them, my husband's not going to be Nigerian, by the way. And they're all
so
like...
you were certain
I already knew that.
Okay.
And then they were just like,
but why
really?
did you know that?
I don't know. I just knew that my husband wouldn't be Nigerian.
Because I could, for me, I think I said that once, but I feel like I don't attract Nigerians. And if I do, it's the uncles.
I just
and ain't
don't
nobody
like
marrying uncles.
Do you know what?
So,
I don't like them.
I like Ghanaians.
Okay, yeah. So
I do. So that's for me. It's very easy because I like that, but I don't box everybody else.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me take it back before these people think that I self-hate. I love Nigerian guys because I've got brothers and everything, but I just don't. I just knew what's
attracted to them. It's fine.
Yeah, because you know these people. Be like, oh my god, he's Nigerian.
Brownie, she's brownie.
Yeah, exactly. They'll start saying
I've
my
heard that for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. But I do like Nigerian guys. I just don't find them attractive like that for myself personally.
Yeah.
Hence why I got with Caramel. Tired.
She's like, I'm so done right now.
I'm over this.
No,
Yeah.
I'm the same as you two, as George and Daphne, because my mum's like, whatever, it is what it is, isn't it? It can be any colour, it can be any race, as long as he treats you good.
Yeah.
He doesn't beat you to death.
God,
He doesn't,
Because for some, that's the
somebody
real.
won't die.
It's real, you know, because
And this is the thing, you do all of that. You want your child or your children to marry into a certain race, culture, or whatever.
For them to suffer.
Or because of what?
Yeah.
So that you look good. Because
Yeah.
I don't understand how does it benefit your child?
No,
in any
And
but
you
way?
know
it's
what?
true.
Yeah, that's some cultures for you because literally it's a thing where like the wife is, you know, the house girl. She's this, she's that. She takes the beating and this and that,
Yeah.
and that's the culture. That's
But
the
sometimes
tradition.
it's not
That's
even
just how men are
culture.
raised to treat
Their
their
women.
women
Yeah.
in that
That's madness.
particular, you know, place.
And then
It's
you're
not
all
our
living under the
abortion,
same house.
Yep.
But
Oh
I'm
God.
saying that sometimes that can
we
be
can't
some
even
men.
argue in peace.
Mm.
Imagine because they
And then the mum's upstairs while you're arguing, you're having your
you can't even
marital
argue.
problem.
You literally can't even have an argument in peace. You're just thinking,
Like,
oh, your
it's
flipping
not-
mum's gonna come downstairs soon and intervene
Literally.
with her long neck.
So my mum was
Something.
like, "You can do whatever you want to do, as long as he doesn't beat you, and as long as you're happy." So I was like, "Whatever it is, what it is."
But I feel like what the guy has failed to kind of maybe understand, or maybe what the parents have failed to understand is, one, how Muslim is he? Because I don't
Yeah.
know how devout is he. And
Do you know,
two,
like sometimes you can
Yeah.
portray a different picture to your parents, and
Yeah.
because he's Muslim, like he'll go and he does his prayer, fasting, and
Yeah.
everything. But guys, he eats pork.
yeah, and that's
So-
where I say the parents have failed
Me,
to
that's not
understand
Muslim. I don't eat pork. So
how
it's
Muslim
like,
is he?
yeah.
Because I think for me personally, I'm one of those people that I feel like I personally would like to share the same faith as my spouse.
Mhm.
I just think
Yeah.
it makes things, at least from
It just
my
makes
point
sense
of
for
view,
Yeah.
it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Because I
Makes a
feel
lot
like
of
from a
sense.
foundational point of view, I feel like we need to have that in common.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah, you do.
I think Danielle can attest to this, especially from her own experience. You know, mixed faith relationships do work. And I feel like, so it's not to say that, and I've even got friends in that situation as well. So I've seen it work, I've heard of it working, but obviously everybody has their own personal thing. And I think what he's failed to do is try to maybe understand his parents' perspective. Because I think sometimes, you know, your parents are saying, I want this. But sometimes when you start questioning them, like, okay, but why?
But why?
But why?
Yeah.
But why? The
You
whole
might
thing falls
find-
apart.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I think that's where I would have started. If I was in that situation, I would have at least tried to understand where my parents are coming from. If I really felt like, oh, it's not that big of a deal.
yeah.
And similarly, now that you've got a child in the mix, I don't know obviously what they've decided between them, but it's like, okay, how are you raising this child in terms of their faith, their religion? And I think a lot of people just don't consider those types of things.
No.
And they don't discuss
What is the
it.
girl?
They don't.
Is the girl a Christian or what is she?
She's a Christian, but I don't know if she goes to church. If she's a practicing or just Christian by name.
So they just seem like, sorry, no offense to your friend, but they just seem like almost two wish-washy people, just kind of like going with
about
the,
her,
going with the
but,
flow
like,
kind of thing.
For me, I think like you allowed this to happen for my friend. Basically, I'm like, well, you knew the setup, you knew what your parents wanted, and you still went and did other things. So yeah, you kind of allowed this to happen to yourself. So what now? What are you going to do now?
I just
How are
think
you
he
gonna
just
fix
needs
it?
to grow some balls and tell his parents.
I
Well,
agree.
on.
Yeah,
Like,
he's gonna need to.
I just think at the end of the day, you're
Exactly.
going on, you're almost 30 years old.
And
Your life
sometimes,
is your
like-
life. Your parents can only do so much for you
Yeah.
at a certain
Yeah,
age.
exactly,
And trust that you then
exactly.
make the right decisions afterwards.
Mm.
Like they can't dictate the course or the trajectory of his life. So they should leave him alone kind of
Yeah, he's
thing,
gonna
you
need to
know.
fly the nest eventually. So, and sometimes for me, I've told him, which I don't know, it might not, but I was like, maybe you making them aware of your child will actually bring the family together, and they're just gonna think, do you know what? It is what it is. However, I don't know how strict his parents are. I don't know if that will work or if it will cause more problems. If it will cause
Did
problems
they-
for the girls.
Does he live with his parents?
Yeah,
I think another
Oh,
challenge.
God.
Challenge.
yeah, because you know,
Is-
like those.
no,
strict
So
Muslims,
now he
they
lives
say-
with his parents and
And
then
he's gone and done
He's
that.
never
girl-
moved out from his parents'
But
house.
I think sometimes that's the problem.
Mm.
Because I feel like when you are under your parents' roof, they believe, especially if they're from, you know, an African background,
Mm.
sometimes it's not across the board, but sometimes they feel that they have more say in your life because
course.
obviously
You're
you're
under their
under their
house,
roof.
yeah.
And I think sometimes where it can be, you know, a bit of a conflict is when you're like, no, I want to do this. And they see it as a blatant disrespect
Yeah,
because they're
if
just
you're
like,
under
how
it.
dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's where maybe he needs to grow some balls and actually leave.
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah.
he moves out and then it's like, I'm my own man, I can
Yeah.
stand on my own too,
Yeah.
and I'm responsible for myself.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
more you kind of rely on them, even if it's not financially, but just the fact you live
That
under
you
their
live
house,
under the house.
they will
Yeah,
just be
that
like, but you are still a
You're
child
still
to
a
us.
child,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
You're
of
still a
course.
child. So
Of
therefore you have to
course.
listen
Exactly.
to us.
Yeah,
Didn't he go
definitely.
to uni or anything?
Yeah, he did.
And he stayed
Did he
at home?
graduate?
That's where he found all the
graduate?
nyama nyama
I don't know if he
girls.
finished.
And all this crap.
But he
I
did,
don't know.
like, it's just hard because, like, he still lives a normal life. Obviously, like, religion doesn't stop you from living a normal life. But when it comes to his family home, it's like, I want to be viewed as this. And, you know, like, I want my mum to know that I think it's more his mum that he's afraid of, but he doesn't want to disappoint. but you've already kind of done that unknowingly. So
Do you know what I have a problem
it is what it is.
This is what I have a problem with people.
He's lying.
What people say and what they do sometimes are two different things.
A lot of the
and
time.
I feel a lot of the time.
Yeah.
A lot
And
of
I
the
feel like you
times.
want to give this facade to your parents with your mouth. You want to be chatting.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I'm going Mars. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing this. Da, 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 da. And your parents, oh my son.
Yeah.
Oh, da, 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 you're a good boy.
They'll be
But then
championing
when you
you.
leave, you're doing something completely different. And I feel
Yeah.
like
Argument.
at the end of the day, you brought this to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And
you
you're
let
only
your
lying to
parents
yourself,
believe.
really.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
lying to yourself.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
heartbreaking
if
for
you
them.
want your mum to not be disappointed, don't do
Don't
things
do
that
it.
will
Yeah.
disappoint her.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
literally,
it's
it's
true.
that
Simple
simple.
as.
And
That's
what
when
I
you
said. I
do
said
it,
you
like own
make
up
your
to
bed, you
your,
lay in
like
it.
own up to what you've done
Exactly.
and stand your ground and be like, I messed up. I did this, I did that, and
How am I gonna-
apologize for it
Yeah.
and be proud about it, because at the end of the day, it's a whole child. Like, you can't hide a child for
But
that
then,
long.
what did he
honestly.
mess up on? What did he mess up on? Falling in love with somebody that he
No.
actually
I mean,
genuinely
like,
loves, and then
disappointing
having-
his parents. He messed up because he's
I
the
think
one
he's
who set the
disappointed the
standard.
girl.
Because he was like, yeah, definitely, he's done that too. But he set the standard. He was like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, giving this whole facade, as Daphne said. But that's not what he was doing.
Yeah.
That's not what he was doing behind the scenes. So he did that.
But
This is
imagine
his
how
mess.
worthless his girlfriend must feel.
I feel
She
bad
must
for
feel
her.
so
They
worthless
went
to the
through a
point that
point
she
where
can't
she was
even
like,
meet
"You're not going
his
to see the
family."
child."
Yeah, of
until,
course.
like,
You're
bring
gonna
me-
you're gonna have that attitude. She must
Yeah.
feel so worthless. Like, so you can't. I've now. Okay, so we've been boyfriend and girlfriend. You kept me a secret. Fine. We've now had sex and we found out we're pregnant. You still don't want to bring. You still don't want me to meet your family. Okay, fine. I've now given birth to your child, which is their grandchild, and I
Yeah.
still can't see your parents. It's a madness. I'm
Yeah.
cutting everyone off at that point.
Yeah, no, they
Yeah,
actually
no.
went through that
It's
point
too
where
much.
That's ridiculous.
he couldn't see the child or anything.
That's
but then
stupid.
eventually, I guess the strain became a lot on just her alone. So she's like, okay, you can come back and see him, whatever. But I don't know if she's just like, it is what it is at this
I
point.
think
If
it
I meet
almost
them, I
shows
meet
like
them.
he's
If I
not
don't,
ready
I don't.
to be in a relationship. Because I feel like he will always put his parents
Yeah.
first.
That's
I feel
what-
like
and that
he's
was
not
my
ready to
problem.
be a
That's what
grown-up.
I
He's
said.
He's
Yeah,
not
I
ready
said
to be a
it's
parent,
not
to
now
be
your
a
family,
parent
and that's
himself.
who you need. Your main
He's just
concern
not
should
ready.
lie with. One day you're gonna have to flock the nest anyways. Like, you're not gonna marry your mum
Because
you're
she's
not gonna
just
marry
an
your dad.
option for him
That
at this
is
stage.
who you
Even
need to
your
be
child
worrying
is
about.
just an option
But
for you.
even her, like, she needs to get some balls as well and be like, I'm not taking this.
Yeah,
What is
but
this?
She has done that.
Has she gone to his house? She should go to
I
his
don't know.
house.
I don't know.
That's
because,
mad.
But she hasn't.
I will
I
say,
thought
I got a
that
friend that did
because
that.
She
I thought they were
backtracked.
No, I got a friend that
But
did
she
that.
hasn't
why she
because
not
she
doing that?
backtracked. But
No, I got
let
a
me
friend
tell
that
you,
doesn't even know
yeah.
where he lives,
Let me
to be
tell you,
fair.
this is the reason why parents get involved when you're dating someone and
Yeah,
it gets
that's what
serious.
I was-
This is the
yeah.
reason why, because things like this can't happen if your parents and your families
Where's
are
her family?
involved.
Exactly.
If exactly where's
Where
her
are
family?
Where's her mum?
If she had
'Cause-
told, because her
Yep.
parents must know, her family must know she was pregnant for 9 months. No one saw her.
And
One
who's the
person
person
in
responsible
her
for this,
whole
for this
family.
baby?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you mean to tell me your family are not going to question? Wait, where's the
Where's
father?
the father? Was he there
Because
for the
she's
birth?
from Zimbabwe and I'm half Zimbabwean as well. So definitely we have culture and definitely there are rules. Bro.
Was he there for the
No,
birth?
the reason I don't want to answer too much because then it'll just bait the girl out. But for
It's
her,
even worse.
that is her
That's
family.
who
Like,
she
she's
is.
like latching onto him.
But then
like,
this
you're
is
my
where
next.
he needs to take the
feel-
responsibility
yeah.
as
So
a
what- so-
man and as
yeah.
a grown up.
Does he
Knowing
love her
these some
enough?
of these
Yeah.
sensitive things that she's going through.
Exactly.
How do you even feel good about yourself
Yeah.
to sleep
To let all
knowing
these
that
things
she's
happen.
And the other way around.
Yeah.
that's it's very unfortunate. And just to tag on to
That
what
is very
Annette was
unfortunate.
saying, that's why there's an order to things. And I
Yeah.
just feel like as we grow up in this world and this new age, I feel like, you know, all rules are out the window. And I feel like there's a certain order for a reason. That's why when you are now deciding you want to settle down, have a family, get married, have children,
Yeah.
one, there's an order in which you do
Yeah.
those things. But like Annette said, the parents come together at some
Yeah.
point. And I know
100%.
like for example, in traditional Ghanaian marriage, and I think it's the same with Nigerians at the very least, when they talk about traditional marriage, it's not actually for the two people that are getting married.
No.
Yeah.
It's,
It's
for
for
the
the
family.
families.
Yes, for the families.
It's for the
So
family.
am I not learning?
Yeah,
it's for the
it's
family.
for the
Yeah.
families
Yeah.
because
It
in our
is.
culture, the whole point is that the family should be able to see themselves and be like, I know you.
Yeah.
And actually now, because I know you will keep such and such accountable. You will keep such and such
Yeah.
accountable.
Exactly.
And actually now, because we are now become one in terms
Yeah.
of family, we make sure that we push these people together and make sure that their marriage marriage is good and
Yeah.
and actually we're responsible for them as well.
Exactly.
But now you've kept the family out. The whole thing, of course, is just
It's
going to
gonna
be
come to a
all
shambles.
over the jazz.
Yes, exactly.
Even before we even do a traditional wedding, you either do like an introduction or
Yeah.
a lock-in for you guys.
Exactly.
And that's I remember when Wayne was just like, I think he just thought it was going to be like, how they see in the movies, oh, Dad, I want to marry Christina. and my dad said, okay, that's nice. However, go and bring your parents and you tell them you tell me in front of your parents,
Yeah.
bring your brothers and your sisters, bring your closest aunties and uncles, and then come to my house, and then you tell me that in front of my family with Georgina here present. I was like,
That's what happened to us.
Exactly.
Forget traditional wedding.
That's it.
That's the main,
introduction.
yeah.
And that's the main thing. And and you'll say, you don't
That's the
come
most
empty-handed.
important part.
I'm going to give you a list of things that you must bring on that day.
Yeah.
And they done everything. And imagine this is outside of their culture as well. So again, it's nothing that was
setting the foundation
exactly
there as well
setting
for
the
them.
foundation.
Exactly.
And that's why us as women, I'm sorry, especially if a man is now showing interest in you, you have to show them account, because you could have easily said like, we don't need to do them things. Just come, we're gonna get married. There's all these things are not important.
Yeah.
But you held him to account and said, well, in my family place,
This is what
we do,
and that's how it
so
goes
if you're
down.
serious, you
Yeah.
have to
You
come
have to come
correct.
serious.
Yeah.
That's it.
Correct.
And that's it. And I feel like
100%.
and I get it. Like, there's various circumstances which mean, certain times that's not always the case and that's not always possible. But you have to. And the only reason you knew that was something is because, one, you were told and brought up like that. But it was important to you. And I think that's why you, as a woman, you have to have your own values. What are the things you stand up for? What are the things you believe? But you're just here.
That's what I'm saying. Even her herself.
All right,
Fair
then.
enough.
All right,
Fair
let's get
enough. She's
pregnant.
been through she's had trauma in her life, and things have been really difficult. But even still, for your own self, you still have to have standards. You still have to have boundaries for yourself, for your life. You can't just accept anything willy-nilly and be doing anything willy-nilly, because it's about you. It's going to fall back on you. It's not going to fall back on your parents or your cousins or your aunties or your uncles. It's about you
At the end of the day.
at the end of the day.
And now your
she's
children.
still,
And now
she's got a child.
Yeah.
So she
Makes it a
still has
whole
to
difficult.
get
Yeah.
some
Makes-
balls at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, guys, I don't know if I've told you any of you this. I watch Divorce Court sometimes. It's really entertaining.
Say it with your chest, Daphne. What do you watch?
Is it with Judge Tola?
Judge Lynn Tola. Yeah.
Oh.
I love it. Do you watch it sometimes?
No,
She's
but I
funny.
watch what's
Paternity
it?
Courts.
Eh?
Paternity Court.
guy.
No, I watch.
I watch Judge
Marriage
Ridna.
Boot Camp.
Yeah,
and
that's
she's
what
on
I'm
there.
saying. Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
I watch
yeah.
Marriage Boot Camp sometimes, and she's
Judge Ridna
she's
is
on there.
I bring
funny.
it up because the one thing she always talks about, like she talks about loads of stuff. I get real gems from her. I'm just saying, like, because she talks sense.
She
Drops
does.
some tea.
She drops some
Yes,
sense.
she's real.
And she says, she was talking about like men. And then she's always like to the men, a lot of the time, she's like, make sure you treat your woman good, because if you make her bleed, she's going to bleed all over your children and your family. And yes,
Sorry, but that deserves a...
it's powerful.
It's
and
it,
I'm like,
she's
and that's
good
why
at
I'm kind of
some-
really disappointed in your friend, because I'm like, at the very least, yeah, okay, we are where we are. We've spoken about what you should have done, what you should have said, what you should, fine, we are where we are.
Yeah.
But every day that you don't do right by this woman, you are breaking her. You are breaking her. You are breaking her.
Yeah.
Especially
And it's-
considering what she's already been
Yes.
through. It's just like
And
another thing on top of that.
The only
Yeah.
thing is, and the only person that is going to directly affect is your child.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you don't even love her, you don't want to be with her, whatever. At the very
Then
least,
for the
if
sake
you
of your
love your
child.
child,
Like, say it.
you need to do something.
Yeah.
And that's where
Definitely.
I'm kind of like, you know what? Be like we said it. Be a man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Be a man.
You just have to.
Suck it
Just
up.
own
If
it.
they beat you up and down, let them
Let
beat
them
you.
be.
And that's the worst thing.
You'll be
That's
all
it.
right.
That being your last thing, you're not
Yeah.
there from it.
That's
That's
it.
it.
Maybe they
Yeah.
should have beat you earlier. Because
real.
you're moving
Because you're
mad.
moving mad,
Because you're
bro.
moving mad.
That's it. What are you doing?
You
Like,
obviously didn't get beaten because he's showing them that
That's
like
it.
I'm doing good.
I'm
Mommy,
doing my
Daddy,
own
I'm doing
in the corner.
Yeah.
In the corner.
Exactly.
you know what I'm
You're doing
saying?
foolishness.
I don't know much about the Muslim faith, but I know that they have rules and regulations and things that you should hold yourself rules and regulations. You should hold yourself to a certain standard. You shouldn't, be flinging your silly willy everywhere. So you should be doing something with your life. So just
Why
for
does
that.
the aubergine always come up in our conversation?
No, it's true. Even just for flinging your silly willy, you should get some licks. You should hold something. Like, you should be in trouble for something.
Nah, it's not acceptable.
Yeah,
But maybe,
it's
do you
unacceptable.
think he's scared that it might be a situation? Because I don't get.
yeah.
And what
Because
situation?
I-
Oh, that he'll
The
get.
honor thing.
Because
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like I feel like honor
You
killings are
think?
only girls.
No.
It could be him and his girl.
No, I mean,
It usually is mainly always
I
girls.
thought it's always girls.
It's
but-
usually if the girl breaks it because
Yeah.
she's the one that was
It's the dad
obviously
to
that
the
will
girl,
get
or
shown.
the
that
brothers
she's
to the
carried
girls,
child.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like, because I'm like, I don't get, unless they're threatening to kill you, there's nothing,
No,
there's,
yeah.
you haven't got
I
anything
don't
to
think
lose.
it
But he
will.
can have more than one wife, no?
If,
Can't she
if
just
he
be
can
one of
take care of them.
And
Well,
also,
That's the what Muslim said it. If you can take care of them,
Can't he
yes. But it's not just have them
No,
because
just have them because.
and
up
not
to
just
4
that.
wives.
Is she gonna accept that? Well, I don't know. Maybe she will.
she
because-
doesn't sound like
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't
Maybe
sound like
she
she'll
will,
necessarily
But
say
and
no,
all
to
of
be
that, she
honest.
can have more than one wife.
But I
And not
don't.
in
It
the
doesn't even sound like
Quran.
he wants more than one wife. It just sounds like he's just in a bad.
He's
spot.
trying to please the both of them,
Yeah.
but he's more pleasing his family than he is pleasing his
100%.
actual new family that he has
100%.
just created. So
I don't
But
think he's
you
pleasing
cannot
his
know
family.
the
do
word
that.
What is done in the darkness
Always
comes
comes
to
to
light.
light. Yeah.
You can only go for so long. So
Yeah.
it might not be revealed this year. It might not even revealed be next year, but it will be revealed.
yeah,
That's what I'm
definitely.
saying.
I just want
And
him
then
to go
I feel,
knock
but
on
I
his
feel
door.
like if he doesn't
What'd you
reveal
say?
it
I just want
himself,
him to go and knock on his door.
no,
with
but
the baby.
guys, I had a friend
That's
that
it.
did that. Like, literally, an ex-friend. She was
and these your
Your
ex
ex-friends,
friends.
innit?
That's a real ratchet friend. This one was a
Wild.
girl. She was going out with like a boy for a very long time,
Mm.
and he never once introduced her to his family. When she went and knocked on his door, what did she find out?
That he's got a wife in there.
He got a real girlfriend in the house that knows the family. So yeah, that was that's a topic for another day. Anyways,
Wow.
if she does,
People
like,
be moving mad, you know.
No, the girl's to blame.
like,
which
Why
one?
is the side chick going to the house for?
but why? Why
No.
why is
He
she
said
even
that's
a
my
side chick?
girlfriend.
Why
He
is she a
told
side
her,
chick?
"You're my girlfriend."
Yeah, but sure they met his family.
Yeah, that's the
And that's
only
what I'm trying to
thing.
say.
So why are you going
So
to
that's
his
the
house,
signs
bro?
are
So
there.
she went
Sounds
there.
not there.
It was his birthday, whatever. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and surprise him. I'm
No,
gonna take
he
the
didn't
gift to
ask you
his
to
house."
surprise me.
Blah, blah,
Go
blah.
sit
Why
down
would
somewhere,
he-
She
bro.
why
knocks the door. He was in the house, He didn't come downstairs.
I wouldn't come downstairs. Who
Yeah,
told you to come?
yeah.
Don't come to my house unannounced.
And then somehow they got back
You're staying
together.
outside.
But then eventually
They got back together.
They got back
She's
together.
You see what I mean?
And then they
Where's
broke
your
up again.
standard?
And then, yeah, it's really mad. But yeah, that's what it comes down to, though, guys.
Oh.
Your standards.
Do you know what I realised?
Whatever you will allow.
Too many
Bro.
dumb people in this world, you know.
There's
I'm
too
so
many
sorry.
what?
Dumb
Dumb
people.
people. I'm so
there's-
sorry. I don't mean
It's
to
whatever
It's not
you
even
will
like
allow.
that.
That
don't
is
even know
so
what the word is.
stupid.
I
Why
feel
would
like
you do that
a
to
lot
yourself?
of females just don't know their values, and a lot of them are caught up in situationships, and it's like, I'd rather have him there in a situationship than not have him at all.
That's desperation, bro. Do you
Yeah,
know what's
yeah.
so
You need to
funny?
love yourself.
I had this conversation last night with my little cousin, and I was telling her, yeah, because she's dating this guy. They're not together. He's just courting her. They're dating. So, and I said to her, you know that you're young, yeah, and you've still got quite a lot of things to do. You want to do a lot of things with yourself. You want to become a lawyer. You want to do this. You want to do that. So it's going to be very time intensive. So you need to have a conversation with him and let him know where you stand because he's older than you, and tell him, look, this is what I aim to do. This is what I'm planning to do. I'd prefer it if you don't think this is actually going to go anywhere, that you just, we call it quits
Don't waste
now
my time.
because I don't want you to waste my time. And
No,
she
but
said,
to be honest, I
I've
think that's a
already
good
had
thing.
that conversation with him, and I rated her for it because she was telling me like a lot of her friends don't do that.
Yep.
They just go straight to the core, get
Yep.
down, do what they got to do, and they don't even use protection. By the way,
Who,
like-
your cousin or her friends?
no, her friends.
Oh.
Like she's like a lot of her
How
friends
old are
do
they?
that. 19, 20. This is like their age.
But that, like at that age, I wasn't having that conversation with boys. I wasn't saying, "Oh, where's this gonna go?" Da, 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 da. Not because I didn't know my worth or whatever, but because I wasn't trying to get married to no one at that age. Anyways, like I always tell Georgina, I don't know how you got married at 26. To me, that's like anxiety.
Do you know what? I had that conversation with Michael.
Yeah, but
with my
that's because
husband
you
at
knew
that
you
age.
wanted. But I don't.
that
I don't want
age.
that at that age. So I think it comes down to each individual's preference as well. So it's a good thing she did that. I'm
Yeah.
happy she did. I wish there was also someone to like tell me that when I was that age,
Yeah.
because
You
I would
said
have just
some-
rolled with the
You
punches.
said something very important though. It's like one, it's very individual,
Yeah,
but
it's,
also those are your formative years, and a lot of the time, some people mature a lot more quickly. And when I say
Yeah.
mature, they become aware of themselves
Aware
and
of
who
themselves.
and
Yeah.
what they want
Yeah.
and what they don't want. But some people are not aware of those kind of things, and and even when they are not aware, they don't even necessarily have the people to have the conversation with to kind of help them become aware and
Yeah.
kind of navigate some of those difficulties around what do I like, what shouldn't I like, what should I uphold in terms of standards or whatever. So I
Yeah,
think there's a
etc.
lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on when you're in an adolescent, and I think we forget that even in your early 20s, you're still
Yeah.
trying to figure a lot of stuff out. You have pressures of trying to figure out what's my job
Who
going to be.
you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What money
Yep.
can I contribute now to my household? Am I on my own too? Do I have to? There's so many other things you're going through.
Yeah.
You're navigating not only romantic relationships, friendships.
friendships.
So there's a lot of pressure on young people, and I think it's important that I know that now, at least when I become a parent, you know, that's one of the things I really have said to myself. I really want to make sure is that I start having those conversations with my child and my children at an appropriate time, because I think that's a lot of the time where it comes from. And if you don't have the conversation with your child, somebody else will, and they potentially will tell them the wrong information.
And that's the thing that I'm always very conscious of when it comes to my younger cousins and stuff, because I know that there's a lot of influences around them and it's not always a good thing. And I know that my family won't necessarily be like, sit them down and say this and this, because they're from a different time. They're from a different, you know, they're a lot older. So I almost feel like the middleman.
Different generation.
Like I understand what she might go through, what she might experience and what she might hear. So I'm able to guide them in a certain way.
Yeah.
So
it's good
I
to
take
have
it,
that.
really
definitely.
serious.
It's really good, but I mean, I guess back to the matter, it just sounds like there's only one option here. I don't see what else you could do except
I think he just needs to tell
He just
his
needs to fix
parents.
up.
I think he just needs to tell his
And be like,
parents.
Mum, Dad, here's your grandson.
I know.
It's easier
that
to
way.
go about. Yeah, just bring her.
I thought Georgina was going to say the girl needs to go there again.
No.
Just bring her.
No, but just bring her.
I think you should just bring her. And then, you know, you cross that bridge when you get there. At the end of the day, the problem is not going to last forever.
Yeah.
They'll get over it at one point.
Exactly.
Something else will come up and they'll be like, you know
and
what?
unless they're
This child and
terrible
this
people,
girl's not even
that
the
child
big
will
deal.
soften their heart.
Yeah,
I'm
of
sorry.
course, definitely.
Yeah, that child will.
I hope so, because I've got a situation where, well, I don't have a situation, but I know someone where she married a guy and they had a baby. And when his mum still sees the grandchild, she's just like, it's not my grandchild. It's not my
Why?
grandchildren.
Why?
She just doesn't like them. So, and I remember I used to always be like,
the
oh
mum?
no.
But
Yeah.
they're married.
Did she come
the
to the
guy's
wedding?
mum. No.
Oh, so she had a problem from before.
She had a problem from before.
Oh,
but then you would have thought that, okay, you might not come to the wedding,
Yeah.
but having a child, a brand new baby would soften your heart. So again, I always think that having a child doesn't solve everything.
That's
Doesn't solve
what I'm saying.
problems
But that's
as
what I
well.
said. Unless
For
they're
me-
terrible people. That's why I said what I said. Unless they're terrible. She doesn't
people.
sound like a nice person. Because I
Yeah.
feel like if a child doesn't soften your heart, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
100%. I
Yeah.
think you're a witch.
But I also couldn't marry someone whose mum, like if I didn't get along with your mum, I don't know, for me, that's a really, really big thing.
Yeah.
We need to work on that. She must not like me, but she must be able to stand me or put up with me at least. Like, I don't know if I could do what your friend did.
I don't know.
it's-
And
I think it's serious.
I
It's
think we've
very
spoken a lot about
serious.
this maybe off the pod, and we've spoken about the responsibility of, you know, the husband or the man to ensure that there's that facilitate that relationship. So
Yeah.
sometimes I just feel like, what are you doing if you're not trying to bring your wife and your family together?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Did he try? Do you know?
Well, she said he did, but I don't know, because I know how he is and I know he's quite soft.
He's a
Um,
mummy's boy.
Small.
No, because she just about talks to him now because he married her. Yeah, so he doesn't really.
Yeah, she
What
doesn't
was-
like a
Can
nice
I just
person
ask out
as
of
well.
curiosity, what was the mum's problem with like the whole marriage?
Yeah.
You know
And the girl.
the thing is, I never actually really know, and that's the worst thing about it. So. And at the end of the day, it's not the ideal situation. And I don't think anyone's trying to shout about this to be like, oh, my mother-in-law doesn't like me or blah, blah, blah. I don't think anyone's trying to do that. So I think my friend was always quite secretive in terms of why she doesn't like her for some reason. And what I found very strange is that he has siblings, so sisters. And again, they are very much so on the mum side as well. So I kind of think to myself like, okay, yes, the mum has gone to the extreme and the family in general have gone to the extreme for not like showing up to their wedding or like really being there to support their nieces and nephews, etc. But I just almost feel like, but then what did you do?
Yeah.
There's something
you
more
know,
to
actually,
it.
I just feel like there's something more to it. I just
And
refuse
you're only ever
to
gonna know what she
believe-
tells you.
Exactly. I'll
so-
only ever know from their point of view. I don't need to know anybody else's point of view, to be fair. But
Yeah.
I just find it really strange.
It is strange.
It is
I
strange.
find it
People,
ridiculously
it's so
strange.
people will be like, I swear I didn't even do
I
anything.
didn't do anything.
You know?
Yeah, you had to. Yeah, that's what I think. I thought you must have done something.
Yeah, because no one just
But-
wakes up with hate in their heart. Well,
No.
not usually.
Yeah,
anyways,
exactly.
You know?
Because and the thing was, up until that point, I was always under the impression like, oh yeah, like you know, his mum likes mine, etc. They always talk to each other on the phone, and it was so strange because it was like up until the wedding, like literally up until like what a week, 2 weeks before the wedding, then it was kind of like
The cracks began to show.
everything. It was just like, oh, the wedding's cancelled. It's not going on anymore. Blah blah blah. And it's kind of like, what? They're like, oh, some drama happened with his mum. I was like, but what could the drama possibly be?
Something must have been
Like,
brewing along the way.
Did you cheat on him? Did he have a baby? Did you have a baby? Like, how? What? What is so big?
Yeah.
So, it's just one of those things where I think some things are just better left unsaid. And that's definitely one of those situations where I know I would never really know. Like I said, it's not even my problem. It's not my business. It's more for her to make sure she finds the peace and happiness. But they seem to come to have.
I don't know. See,
They seem to have something, but I won't be able to.
You think the baby will solve it?
No, I know. I was gonna say maybe I'm too soft. Like, I just feel like, in that similar situation, right? I know you can't force someone to like you or spend time with you, but like, one, obviously I'd expect my husband to back me, which it sounds like he's doing or trying to do.
Yeah.
But like,
I believe so.
I feel like I'll be like, mommy, like,
Yeah, I'll be trying.
what is it?
Yeah.
Like, what can I do?
also
And I
you
don't know,
don't
she
know.
may have
You
done those types of things. I don't know. But I would need to get to a point where I'm at peace with it. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
even be talking to you. Like, if that was my situation, I wouldn't even mention it to you guys because I said, I will know in my heart of hearts, I've tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even
Like,
be a thing
yeah,
for
it
me.
wouldn't
Like,
be.
I've tried.
Yeah.
And if this woman
Yeah.
doesn't like me, that's on her because
Yeah.
I've done. But I wouldn't even be talking about it like, I don't even know,
Yeah.
because it wouldn't even matter at that point because
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I've done
everything
everything
I
I can possibly
could
do.
Yeah.
So
And within yourself, you're free.
I'm
you know?
free. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't
Yeah.
even be something I even raised. And I just, so people are just,
Anyway.
well, some people are just wicked anyway. So,
Yeah, they are.
and maybe your friend knows in his heart of hearts the parents are not gonna have it.
Do you know what?
Maybe that's what
2020,
he
friend,
thinks.
grow some balls.
Yeah.
Don't be with your girl and your child, and that's that. I haven't got nothing else to say, to be honest.
But understandably, I'm sure he's scared.
Well, you should have been scared beforehand.
Yeah.
Before
yeah.
you
I
decided
don't
to
know.
impregnate the girl.
Yeah.
Because it would have been a lot more easier.
Because
just
I would have
saying
been
to
like,
your
"Do you know what?
parents,
No, this
Mummy
isn't
and
gonna
Daddy,
end well."
I've got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
It would have been
It would've been
easier to do
easier.
that. But then now you've added a whole other human into the
Into the
mixology
mix.
of your nonsense.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it is what it is.
You
So,
should have been
friend,
scared before. Throw
we
some
got a
balls, baby.
conversation to have.
Get your balls.
Your balls. Done.
Here's our wrap. Okay.
Thanks for listening to another episode of
And on that note,
don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend, your aunties, your uncles, your sisters, and the whole shambaz. Thank you.
Bye.